Many of you wonder what exactly happens in PhD, and I actually have heard people saying that PhDs just are on their laptop the whole day. This cannot be further from truth. So I'm here to burst your bubble and tell you exactly what happens in PhD, what do I do, and maybe share some snippets of my life as well. Hi, hello, my name is Atya. Welcome to PhDpreneur, where we discuss about PhD, wellness and research. So let's begin with the first one. When you are starting, obviously you are taking admission. Sometimes I see many students applying to a single university or institution, but I would suggest if you are taking or planning for admission to PhD, then apply for several institutes at the same time. I had done it and it gave me excellent results, and I suggest that to you as well. So after that comes the coursework. What does it mean? Coursework means a certain set of lectures that you have to take or a course that you have to complete. Like how you have lectures in masters, how you have lectures in your graduation. Same amount of lectures you may have to attend, or if there are no lectures, you will be given a syllabus and you will be asked to cover it, and in the end there will be an exam. Why is this coursework held? Sometimes the coursework is held to equip you with the knowledge before you start with research. That is one thing. Secondly, coursework is not compulsory for all the institutes or universities. I know of universities where you take admission and within 6 months you have to give your proposal. There is no coursework or anything whatsoever. But as far as BITS is concerned, coursework is compulsory. I personally don't see any logic in it. Nevertheless, that is one of the rules that is there in several institutions to complete the coursework. At the end of it, there is an exam. You have to answer it, clear it, and then only you can give your proposal. The next thing that you are going to do is submit a proposal. So you will submit a document as well as give a presentation to your department or to your lab saying that this is the topic that I'm working on. So this kind of establishes it, and if you want details, then I have done an in-depth video on this. So check it out if you want the details of it. For now, just understand that this is a formality and you need to do your best to give it well. Now, as per your proposal, the next thing that you have to do is follow up with objectives, okay? If proposal is a document, objectives are aims. In these 5 years, you will be having these many objectives. Usually it is from 4 to 5, but at the end of the day, it depends on your supervisor and the kind of work that you are doing. If these are the objectives, then you start with one of the objectives. So you start with experiments. Once you get the results, show it to your supervisor. He validates it, he or she. Meet relevant people related to your experiments and carry on with the experiments as per your objectives. Here, to follow up with one objective at a time and finish it completely, then start with the next. Second method is to start with several objectives at a time. So you have to really pick whatever is applicable to you and depending on how the resources are. Because if you start with the first objective, sometimes the resources for that one may not be there at that point of time. It may come later. There is no hard and fast rule like that you have to go by order only. So at this stage, basically you are doing the experiments, whether it is some dry lab work. So if you are into bioinformatics or some computer coding or that kind, then you will show the code to your supervisor and get it validated. And if you are doing wet lab experiments, like my work is completely lab dependent, I cannot do any of my work sitting at home. In either case, at this stage, you are actually doing the experiments and showing the results. As you are doing the experiments and also seeing the results, the next thing that you will do is publish it. Where do you publish it? Reputed journals with relevant Scopus index and impact factor. I'll do a separate video, how should you publish your first paper in journal, how to select the journal and all that. That deserves a separate video, so I cannot put all that over here. In the meanwhile, in your department or in your lab, there will be certain days where you have to present, okay? Like I know of some lab where you have to present the results to the lab members every week. In some labs, it is every 6 months. Sometimes to the lab, sometimes to the department. So this presentation keep going on. And I would rather say that PhD is a degree in collaboration and communication rather than a degree in your particular field. So these things keep going on. Then you have to also present at conferences, at seminars. So it's like a way of getting a larger audience. In the lab, everyone is familiar with work, everyone is comfortable. But when you go outside, you really understand what all other things people may be working on related to your topic. And when you include that in your work, you can actually publish in a higher impact journals. Then publications, experiments and all that. Once your objectives are complete, okay, that is one criteria. Second, number of publications. Like for BITS, there should be 2 publications which have a Scopus index. So if there is some criteria like that, in Goa University, if I'm not wrong, it's 1 publication that you have to publish. So depending on the number of publications, if you are done with that, and the number of objectives, if you have completed, after that you are free to submit your thesis and you are done with PhD. That brings a smile on everyone's face, including mine. So final thesis submission is somewhat like proposal. You have to submit the document of all the experiments that is done and the results, and also you have to present it. Okay, that would be a final viva, also called as your thesis defense. So these are some of the things that research scholars do. I will try to include few experimental things that we do on a daily basis in our lab. I'll see how it goes. For now, all those who are curious about PhD, so this is how the things go, and depending on how you finish it, depending on how your mental health works at some time, depending on how things work, you are able to finish within 4 to 5 years. Some scholars even finish in 3 years, some take more, but no judgment. There could be severe lack of resources if you are finishing late, or there could be some mental health issues. So all that contributes to how long it takes, and there is no yes or no answer. There is no hard and fast rule like that. And that's what I wanted to share in today's video, a really short and crisp video that I wanted to make to really tell you what actually goes on in PhD. And it is not that students are always at their laptop the whole day studying and no work. It's not like that. Even if it is a dry lab work, even if your topic is something related to informatics, coding or maths, which does not require you to hands-on work in the lab, even then you'll be meeting several people in your college, in your institute, in your university, as well as outside, and you will be really taking part in whatever is happening. So it's the most hands-on thing that can happen to any student. Let me know in the comments if you are planning to take admission for PhD, or if you have any other doubt, then let me know. I'm thinking of making a comprehensive video on PhD admission. Something of that sort interests you, then let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on that. Till the next time.